Hey Facebook, good evening, friends. How's it going? It's your girl Rashana here. I know it's late. It's like 10 o'clock Eastern time, so maybe where you are, it's a little earlier for all my West Coast friends. But I had to come back on because I was on earlier talking about Dr. King and my sound was off. So thanks for everybody who watched the first time, but I want to make sure that I honor Dr. King and that I talk about this topic. I love celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his message of hope, of love, of joy, of peace. This day has been such a great day of just reflecting, of serving others, of being able to be in the gap for someone else. Hey, Carmen girl, glad you made it on tonight. It's one of those things that I think about when I think about Dr. King, when I think about bullying and adversity. We all face it. How we choose to face it is the difference. How we choose to look at why this is happening is so pivotal. For Dr. King, when he was in the midst of doing what he was really called to do, which was preach and teach and be an example of what it means to be a leader that models really what it means to stand and say it's about nonviolence, it's about tolerance, it's about acceptance. When he did that, he made the ultimate sacrifice with his life. I was watching earlier on the news and they were showing one of his last speeches about 4 days before he passed away. And it was so good. It was amazing because one of the things he talked about was silence and the fact that we would all have to pay for our part in what was happening in the country at that time, and to some degree what still happens now in the country around the tolerance or the intolerance around the differences and similarities. But he was really talking about using our voice, speaking, saying what we need to say, doing what we need to do. And that's so true. That's one of the reasons why I was like, well, I have to come back on tonight because it's all about all of us sharing our voice. We all have different lenses of the world, different context. Even if you look at someone and you think we're a lot alike from the outside, maybe you see two Black women and you think they're alike. They might be nothing alike. They may have grown up in different places. They may have different backgrounds, different family dynamics, socioeconomic background. The same is true for women. There may be two women. Maybe they're different cultures, but more than that, their differences in how they see themselves, what they want, their dreams, their desires, they could be so different. This is true for all of us. Our differences are the thing that help us actually communicate and create together. The best teams have such a diverse background. They can see the problem from many different places. That's what Dr. King wanted. That's what he wanted us all to do, which was to come together, to unite as a country, as a nation. And I'm a part of that dream fulfilled. I'm a part of continuing to make sure that the dream is not forgotten and that in the places and spaces where maybe I might be the only woman, I might be the only Black person, I might be the youngest, whatever that is, that doesn't mean that I'm less than. It actually means that I have power and authority and obligation to some extent to speak, to say something, to educate others. I was talking the other day with a friend of mine, and she was like, I'm frustrated because sometimes I have to be the only one to speak and say something. And I said, what a privilege. What a privilege it is to be able to say something, to be the one at the table. How powerful is that? It's important, it's necessary. And if you've been chosen to be at the table, it's a great opportunity. It's a part of what I call your awesomeness. It's your ability to be there. You've been chosen for it. Do it, speak, use the timing and the season for what it's meant for. It's it's why you're here. It's why we're all here. And it's, I believe, what Dr. King would want us to continue to do to honor his legacy, not just on this day, every day. So I hope you guys have a great evening. I hope that the rest of this week as it's getting started is a fantastic week, that you learn something new, that you're able to give something to others. And I'll be back here tomorrow sometime to say hello to you all, to give you some awesomeness, to give you some encouragement, and to shed some light. I hope that this has been a great evening for you. Get some rest if you're still up, or if it's early, start settling down. I'm going to do the same. And I will talk to you all tomorrow. Have a great evening. It's Rashana Price here, your giver of awesomeness. Good night, guys.